What the hell's going on out here? We're scared because his eyelids are chapped and his old man's here. We need a live rooster to take the curse off those eggs, but nobody seems to know what to get Millie or Jimmy for their wedding present. Am I right? That's right. We're dealing with a lot of shit. Don't ever tell you look like a penis with a little hat on. You're out of here! Right now, Jimmy, I heard that's understood.
Why? What do you mean, why? We're in the championship, aren't we? Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? Well, just behave yourselves and act like men.
I'm not much for giving inspirational addresses. The local press seems to think we'd save everyone a lot of time. Well, we just went out and shot stuff.
You play ball like a girl!
I think you're a loser.
Oh, Bob.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Friday morning edition of the Bleacher Bums. I am one half of your hosting team, Jimbo, and let me welcome into the show my second half here.
Hey, good to be on here. Jono here.
Hey, not only are we coming to you from our wonderful studios here with the Lineup Media Group, but we are also on television to some sort of degree through YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'm not used to this, man.
I mean, you see yourself, it makes us realize what we might need to hit the weights a little bit, maybe.
No, take
Find the
weights
gym.
off, actually.
Take some weight off. Okay, I'm with you there. Hey, before we get into this today, let's tell you a little bit about ourselves. We are the Bleacher Bums. You can learn a whole lot more about us at bleacherbumspodcast.com. Very active within the social media community. We love Twitter. At Bums Podcast is the best way to communicate with us. Love emails. A lot of you guys have been emailing in with some topics and things like that. Actually got the topic of discussion today from a good friend that emailed in that we want to talk about what's going on within Major League Baseball. But that email address is info@bleacherbumspodcast.com. And of course, the best way to stay in tune with what we're doing is just go to iTunes, Stitcher, or any major podcast outlet. Just click the subscribe button. You guys will get the shows as we release them. You guys are fully aware we started doing the Monday morning edition to get you guys caught up from the weekends, and that was by your request as well. The big guy over here loves reviews, so we definitely want to give a...
Why not?
Are you a 5-star guy, you think?
I think I'm a 5-star.
I'd give
5-star
you-
general.
I'd give you 5 stars, I'm for sure. But of course, well, we do appreciate the ratings and the reviews, of course. And again, we are part of the Lineup Media Group. Very happy to be a part of it. I know we've been touting our guys over at chasing pucks with Panger, and our Blues are taking a bit of a
Would you
beating right
stop?
now.
You're so negative,
I'm
dude.
not
I
so
hear you in the
negative.
war room all the time.
But I love to hear those guys talk and give some insight. And Kelly Chase he doesn't hold back. He lets you know what he thinks and what's going on. So I love to hear from him. But so that's just some of the great entertainment that's available to the Lineup Media Group. Make sure you check them out. lineupmediagroup.com. All types of different entertainment depending on what your entertainment tastes are. And of course, if you really want to help the big guy over here, okay?
Why you gotta keep calling me big guy?
Well, you're the catcher. You were a catcher, right? Left-handed catcher? Best way to support the show, go down to the Amazon banner about halfway down on the right next time you're going to do some shopping. Okay, it doesn't cost you a thing. We get credit for the referral, so just go to bleacherbumspodcast.com and do all your shopping through Amazon, and we can keep the big guy over here in lap dances.
Hey, I got you. I got a big guy for you.
What do you got, big guy?
Just call me big guy.
Well,
Why
okay.
you call me
No,
big
no,
guy?
you just said you
Jono.
got big guy for me. So
All right,
what's the big guy?
let's
What do you
go.
got?
Let's go to schedule here. Well, let's see what the hell's been
Something to
going
my
on
too?
with the stats here.
Any changes? Anybody picking up the pace? I
Well,
know
you
my
know what,
Cardinals are playing better.
Baltimore has responded to
Hey guys,
Boston's.
sorry, we gotta restart.
One of the mics isn't working for some reason, so we gotta
Hold on.
figure that out. So showing up on the,
Well, we got to troubleshoot, right?
we have no viewers.
We're going to add this in.
Did you see this thing go
Kill
like
the
this?
stream.
I can't stand it.
What the hell's going on out here? We're scared because his eyelids
Give me a little.
We need a live rooster to take the curse off those eggs, but nobody seems to know what to get Millie or Jimmy for their wedding present. Am I right? That's right. We're dealing with a lot of shit. Don't ever tell you look like a penis with a little hat on. You're out of here!
That's what I look like now.
Why? What do you mean, why? We're in the championship, aren't we? Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? Well, just behave yourselves and act like men.
I'm not much for giving inspirational addresses. The local press seems to think we'd save everyone a lot of time. Well, just went out and shot stuff.
Ah.
I think you're a loser.
Oh, Bob.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Friday edition of the Bleacher Bums. I'm one half of your co-host team, Jimbo, and
What's going on, my friends?
You wanted to throw that in there real fast before I could call you
Jono,
names? Before I could
Jono.
call you names? Is that
Yeah.
how that was
yeah.
gonna work?
That's how it's gonna work.
Well, welcome back to our Friday edition of the Bleacher Bums. I hope everybody enjoyed our Monday
got video.
weekend. Yeah, we're on video. I don't know. How are you feeling about this?
Not
seeing
good,
yourself
not
on
good. It
TV?
makes me want to go back to the gym a little bit.
Maybe we should hit the gym before we do the show. Maybe we'll feel thinner. Right? What do you think?
And you know, it's the damn GM that put this. You know, and
It's him.
he's
He's
in
making
great
it-
shape.
Yeah.
So you know, he
Yeah.
just wants us
Lost
to
a bunch of
look
weight.
out of shape and
This is
buy
his
membership.
This
to
is
some-
his way of telling us to get it
Yeah,
together,
no
right?
kidding. No
All right.
kidding.
Well, hey, let us tell you a little bit about ourselves. We are the Bleacher Bums, of course, and you can learn a whole lot about our shows and check out some of our past shows just by going to bleacherbumspodcast.com. That is our website where we house a lot of our older shows, especially our inaugural one. Then we did the one with Benji Molina. We had the opportunity to talk to the guys from New York, a true Mets podcast, gave us some insight on what's going on there in New York, and then, of course, all the past episodes. We love to communicate through social media. Twitter's a great resource for us. You follow us, we're going to follow you because we want to know what interests you in the world of baseball. We are at Bums Podcast. And of course, we love emails if you guys want to communicate. Anything, whether you agree, disagree, any hot topics or things that you're curious about, you know, we're curious as well. info@bleacherbumspodcast.com is our email address, and we do love to hear from you guys. But if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, stay in tune with the show. You know, I know you don't want to miss a show. The best way to do that is just to subscribe, and you simply go to iTunes, Stitcher, or any major podcast outlet. When you find us on there, you just click subscribe, and then you'll have the opportunity to leave us a rating. Now, what kind of rating? The big guy over here thinks he's worth a 5-star rating. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm worth a 5-star rating, little guy.
Oh, you're gonna call me little? Well, I'd rather be little guy than big guy, so I'm good with that. But if you really want to help us, Amazon. I know everybody shops these days through the internet. Lots of different resource outlets out there, but Amazon is obviously the big dog, and we are affiliated, and we thank them for being a part of our show. Just go down on our website, bleacherbumspodcast.com. You'll find the Amazon banner down on the right. Just click it, and of course, we will get referral. Doesn't cost you anything to do it. And again, it'll just kind of help us keep the show on the air and keep us rolling. But we would greatly appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think that's great. I think that's great. And I think what else is great is what I'm seeing in the standings here. Everything's holding serve right now. You got Baltimore and Boston battling it out in the East. I tell you who's plummeted stock-wise with me is Toronto.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't think they got pitching at all, man.
Well,
I mean, Tampa Bay raped and pillaged that whole town.
yes, and I don't know if do you think there's any hangover effect? Is this Jose Bautista thing? Are they kind of on everybody's radar? Everybody can't wait. They're giving them their best.
I think Tampa Bay just kicked some butt right there and just left Toronto. And I'm telling you right now, Tampa Bay's a real team. You got those 3 teams that are going to be battling, I think. And Boston, I tell you what, man. Well, we'll go back to that whole Ortiz thing, but I'm telling you, these 3 teams look alive right now. Yankees and Toronto, I'm throwing them out. Right now, they're on the bottom.
But they both have that kind of talent. Nobody really wants to play them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
obviously
a mess.
Tampa did.
Well, they don't mind. Tampa's never minded playing anybody though. But for
No,
years, they'd
no,
give people
they
fits
just-
even when they weren't very good. You know.
They just roll up them sleeves and give you some ass whooping.
And they're churning right along are the Chicago White Sox in the Central.
White Sox, you know what? When we get Coop on the show, Sale is the guy. Sale is
He
the
is,
guy.
and he actually, okay, is part of my conversation I want to have with you today. But we're going to come back to that. Kansas City Royals still sitting there at 500. They can't get going like on an upward spike. You know.
And I'm not buying into Cleveland with their 4-game winning streak. They beat up on my handicapped Reds. Reds are horrible.
Have you
Reds
noticed a
are
disturbing
horrible.
trend here?
What's that?
Every show we do, at some juncture, you talk about somebody beating up on your handicapped Reds.
Yeah, we just don't have pitching. When our pitchers go on the mound, there's a beach ball waiting for them right at the mound.
And you've got your $200 million first baseman that
All
stares
right,
at
I
strikes
know.
all day long.
It's
on
our
the corner.
pitching, though, man.
All right, I'll get it. Okay, that's fine. Of course, we go to the West, and there's my pick. You thought I was crazy, the Seattle Mariners.
You're not out of the woods yet, man. They're all
I'm just
packed
saying.
together. There's no one. And now you got Pujols that's been red hot for the Angels.
Yeah.
I think what's he at? Like a couple home runs and
He's got a few
batting
home runs,
360
okay.
within the last 7-8 games.
He's doing well for him. listen, here's your surprise team though. How is Houston 17-25?
Nah, you know what? They just can't get it going. And if they keep falling back, they're out of my. They're going to be in the same boat with Toronto and the Yanks right now.
Well, and again, we're back to this too. My topic for today, I think you're going to find interesting. It kind of involves the White Sox in Houston. Let's take it over to the National League, and of course, we heard last week from our friend Jimmy Funk there with Put It in the Podcast. His New York Mets, they're not seizing the opportunity, and again, we're back to this. We got problems. Matt Harvey's got problems.
Well, you know what? They'll put things together. I think they definitely are a good team, but the one surprise in that division to me is Philadelphia. They got nothing to lose. Blue collar guys. They work hard every night, and they're hanging in there. They're hanging, with two teams right there that are really big time teams. You got Philadelphia just saying, you know what, we're going to be in the mix too.
They made some tough decisions over the last couple of years, but did they do it the right way? Did they trade these
Who's
guys
that?
and get some prospects? The Phillies.
Right.
They caught a lot of hell from their fans, but at the end of the day, a couple of these guys that they got in these trades, they're getting it done for them.
Yeah. It's amazing. They're all, like I said, they're not big time players, and they make it happen out there.
Well, the Central's a beatdown. These Cubbies,
They're going to beat everybody down. How's that?
they're playing at a 7-18 clip right now.
They haven't had the last 10 games though. They've only
No,
won 5 and lost 5. So you know what? They haven't. But every team goes through that.
And they're still 7-18.
Yeah.
And then of course there's your,
Well, let's not go away from that yet, because Pittsburgh to me hasn't looked good. Well, you're playing Atlanta. You should dominate Atlanta. They didn't do that this week. You got St. Louis
They're
up
coming,
and down,
playing
up
better,
and down.
playing better. They're both 3-4 games over 500. So
Yeah.
they were mired at 500. Okay, and then there's the Brewers, and of course we won't even talk about your Reds. Let's head out west. Finally, somebody out there is saying, you know what, I want to take this. Here come the Giants.
Here come the Giants.
Some of those
Here
pitchers,
come the Giants.
they call it, people were like, I don't know if Samardzija's worth this money. What's going on with Cueto? But these guys aren't pitching bad for him.
You know what gets me is tonight, San Francisco,
Yep.
at home,
Yes.
is getting plus 165 against Arrieta.
Well, I told you how I feel about that. Arrieta's due to lose.
Yeah, 165 though, unbelievable.
You playing
Frisco
it?
at home.
You gonna play it?
I'm gonna jump all over it. I love Frisco here.
Entertainment purposes, of course. There's the team, though. Look at those Arizona Diamondbacks.
And the Dodgers suck.
You think they suck?
They suck. They really do. I got a LA hat on, and I'm
do.
telling you right now, I can't see anything from the Dodgers.
Well, that's our rundown of the
What were you
standings.
saying about Arizona? What do you got with Arizona?
Well,
they can't get anything going. They're all hurt.
Well, I just thought they were better than that. Paul Goldschmidt's a stud. They got good young talent.
They lost
They
that
bring
outfielder, and I
Pollock.
think, yeah,
Oh, believe me,
I
nobody
think
knows
that
that
set
more
them
than me.
back. That set them back.
Well,
But
hey,
anyway, that's what we got this week.
well, okay, I mentioned Greinke, so here's what I got for you this week. I am convinced there's something going on in baseball.
Dun, dun,
As
dun,
far-
dun.
Yes, breaking. I'm telling you, these pitchers, without the exception of a couple of guys, Arrieta, Sale, these guys are getting rocked.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are they look good once, and then they're not just like giving up a run or two. These guys are like not making it out of like the third and fourth inning.
I am
Some of them.
convinced that the strike zone is getting smaller, man.
I said that in one of the earlier shows. You said I was crazy. Now I'm right.
No, you're right. You're
Okay.
right. I'm seeing it, and there's a lot of strikes being called that are little weird strikes because they're curveballs that are falling out of the zone, and they're calling strike. I don't know what's going on this year.
Okay, so here's my question to you, and I have a feeling you're going to get this only because it's personal for you.
Personal.
Wins above replacement as far as pitchers go, starting pitchers. Who do you think the number one guy is?
As in what now?
Wins above replacement. So like, who's the one pitcher, the starting pitcher you got to have him? He's more valuable to
I'm
his
telling
team.
you, I think Sale is right now.
He is it. Yes.
And
absolutely.
Chicago White Sox are not where they're at without him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that while that is true, I'm gonna give you another reason why the White Sox are where they are, and that's because sitting there at number 2 in ERA is Jose Quintana.
Right?
Who's Jose Quintana?
Yeah, definitely.
You see my point?
Yeah.
Who's Jose Quintana? Okay, now number 1 sitting there at ERA with an unbelievable whip and a good WAR is Jake Arrieta, and we all know that he's having this unbelievable run of success, right? right? But, we're used to that being Kershaw, right? And all these guys. Here sits Arrieta, then you got Quintana and Sale, and then, of course, Kershaw, who himself has had 1 or 2 outings where you're like, what's going on? But we know. So here comes 5 and 6 in ERA. Danny Salazar, right? Who's Danny Salazar?
Yeah.
Gio Gonzalez, 4 or 5 years ago, everybody thought Gio Gonzalez was the shit, but Gio Gonzalez is your number 6 guy. And then, of course, you get to Lester, good pitcher. Drew Pomeranz is number 8.
So where you going with this?
Where I'm going with this is, where's Cole Hamels? Where's Felix Hernandez? Where's Zach Greinke? Where's Adam Wainwright?
Right.
Where are they? Well, let me tell you where they are. Okay, Baumgartner, Hernandez, they're sitting in the bottom 10, so 10 through 20. You got to go down to like 50 before you even start seeing some of these other guys like Wainwright. What is going on with baseball? We've got suspensions. Is the juice back?
No, not in this case. Here, I just think that they're having off seasons, man.
These teams are putting up runs at an unbelievable clip. You said it yourself. The Boston Red Sox, they scored 10 runs a game. How many games in a row?
Right. In the last 6 games, I think they were up the last 6-8 games. They were up to 9.8 runs a game.
All of a sudden, we've got 8 guys we've caught now that are getting suspended. Are the PEDs back? Did we take a break? Everybody got a little nervous. Now guys are trying. We got this new run of player, right, that's coming through, that's wanting to get paid. Are they back?
I don't know, man. Just because stats are this way, Coop's like you too on that. Just whenever you guys see something just jump out at you, all of a sudden you guys are saying he's on the juice.
Well, hang on. I'm not just saying that. Not only, but they're doing it against guys that have like historically been great pitchers.
Right.
And these guys are knocking them all over the park like it's nobody's business, and they're putting up runs at an unbelievable clip. I don't have any other answer. Is the ball harder, or what are we doing? There's the stadiums. I know that as the new stadiums go, some of them are smaller. Some of them are harder to hit home run. I just don't know where it's coming from, and it makes it hard. And I know we're going to get Coop in here in a little bit, and at the end of the day, some of these questions for us as everyday fans are one, we care about our teams, but from a fantasy perspective, how can you trust some of these pitchers anymore? I know you've got Chris Sale. You got to feel like you're on top of the world.
Yeah, but it's how you use Chris Sale, and I'll bring that up with Coop as well, because if you go with it, folks, if you're out in fantasy world and if you load up your team with all closers and middle relief, Chris Sale does not help you in that lineup.
Just because that's what you did, and it was absolutely the dumbest thing anybody could have ever done.
I'll admit it, man. I thought my relief guys, well, again, same concept what you're saying. They're all getting bounced around. That specialty of coming in and throwing 1 or 2 pitches and getting a hole, they're getting hit now.
Right.
They're getting hit, and you're seeing the Pittsburgh closer. He's giving up 1 run, and you know what? The team seems happy with that. Give up the 1 run. As long as we get the W, we're out of here. They're not losing their jobs either.
Well, wait a minute. If you're a team, though, you like it because what happens? The ERAs go up. Maybe they don't get some saves. Maybe they pay less money in arbitration. They don't have a problem with it, but they pay more money to these guys.
No, I think they're accepting. I think they're accepting the role that 4.5 is about the best they can get now.
Well, again, I think owners are okay with that because a reliever, at the end of the day, paying those guys a bunch of money is what those guys have a problem with. They have no problem giving a bunch of money to a guy that hits 30 home runs, hits 300. He puts butts in the seats. These guys are now paying a bunch of money to backup players. They're paying a bunch of money to bullpen guys. I can guarantee you these owners don't want to go that way. No way.
Maybe
No way,
this
shape,
is
or
their
form.
way of justifying
Well, and I'm not saying they're
arbitration.
purposely doing it. I'm just saying I guarantee you they're not unhappy about it. Right?
Right. You got a point. You got a point.
But I don't know. For the most part, I think some of these stats are. It is really hard right now to decide. When from a fantasy perspective, when you look at your lineup for the next week and you say, man, this guy on paper is supposed to be a good pitcher, but he's rolling into somewhere like Colorado or rolling into a small park like Cincinnati or Philadelphia or rolling into to play Toronto with this offense or the Cubs.
Dude, I would honestly say any team going into Cincinnati now, you got to play.
Well, I understand because they're not very good, but where I'm going with this is, when would you ever have thought to yourself, I'm going to sit Cole Hamels, Felix Hernandez, Zach Greinke, Adam Wainwright because I don't like the matchups?
What about your Gray?
Well, Sonny Gray, same thing.
Sonny.
When in the past would you have ever thought about sitting
You
those
made
guys?
Sonny Gray out to be the next coming you did before the draft.
Oh, I jinxed him, for sure.
That
Well,
was-
hey, you know what?
beautiful.
We are amateurish at best in this world of fantasy sports.
Oh, get out of here.
Well, just
I won it 2 years ago.
Okay, well, we would be amateurish at best, and I think it's time to get an expert's opinion on this. So I think it's time to welcome in our fantasy expert, Coop. What do you think?
Let's get
Let's
there
get him in
he
here.
is. There he is on
Oh,
the camera.
There he is on. Coop, we're on camera.
Saw that.
We're big time. We're somebody.
You really are. This is a little frightening, but
Son of a bitch, you still look good. Even on camera, you look good.
you know what?
God damn it, look at me.
I'm not asking.
What?
Here's a
I'm
question.
not asking.
What
I
size
just
bra
need
are
a-
you in now?
Hey, here's
That's wrong. That's wrong.
You're the one that
You
was
guys-
just doing it.
That's wrong.
What do you got?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask Jim and the D Cup. What do you guys think that?
D
that-
cup. Don't start.
I
Don't start.
Great
Don't start that
nickname.
shit.
I didn't. No, so.
I don't want to hear it.
For
Go.
real. Who's gonna win the World Series? Don't.
No hedging?
Yeah, don't hedge. Don't even give a sentence. Just a team name.
I don't know. I
Actually,
don't know yet.
How do you
You gotta
not
take-
know?
take
We have a
two.
bet. How do you not know? We
I
have a
don't
bet.
know yet because you know what? I'm seeing a lot of different things happen lately.
He just asked for an answer, and you should have gave it to him like this.
I can give it. I can give it. You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
Who?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Well, it's the Cubs. The Cubs
No.
are obviously
No.
the team that stands out. I want to see something taking them on, and I don't see it right now.
No, I don't have the Cubs on it.
Oh, get out of here! The Cubs aren't going to look back. I was hoping
Okay,
it wouldn't be the Cubs.
Cubs win the World Series. What do you say, Crum?
I got Toronto.
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 Yep.
All right.
A village idiot.
I know. Coop, I can't believe this because he made a bet with me yesterday. He gave me the whole field against the Cubs for $100. It's documented.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Then when he just asked you,
I know that, but I'd like to make it more I hate to take the 3 to 5 horse every time. And I'm telling you, I don't see anything challenging the Cubs right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Who you
Well,
got?
where are you going with
Well,
this
who you
anyway?
got? And who you
It
got, by
was
the
just
way?
my question. I think if I had to bet today, I would obviously bet on the Cubs just because I think they are the odds-on favorite. But if I was actually going to bet, I would bet on the Texas Rangers.
Ooh.
There you go, Gene.
Rangers.
There you go, Gene.
He's gotta like Darvish coming back, probably healthy and rested for second half type things.
I do.
Is that where you're going?
I do like him coming back.
Hamill's riding the ship, which I like to hear. 'Cause I got
He's
it.
probably on your team, right? Darvish.
You know, funny enough, he is.
Yeah, funny enough.
Just acquired him a couple weeks ago.
Just acquired him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Do you like my bet though? I got the field.
Yeah, that's the greatest bet in the world.
Thank you.
Get out of here. Both you guys
I
are
got
going to
the
look
field.
goofballs after these guys they're raping and pillaging every time they go to.
Oh, is that right? Just lost 2 or 3 to Milwaukee and had to go into extra innings to win the one.
Oh.
Come on. Every team goes through a slump. In their last 10 games, they're 5-5. That's still not below 500, okay?
I will agree with that. Not below
This is
500.
their slouch. If this is their fall, being 500 team, I think they're all right.
I'm not saying it's their fall. I'm saying that they're drastically overperforming and will not keep it up.
They can't play 7-18 all year, can they?
No.
All right, all right.
Well, hey, we need to get to our fantasy portion of this conversation because the reality of it is I think we found out that, last week when you were on vacation that people miss you. And I think it made us feel a little insecure.
Come on, look at you. Look at you.
Well, we had a lot of people
Get
say,
some
wait a
proof
minute.
spot now.
No. We had a lot of people sending in, wait a minute, I need my plays here. And I think a lot of it's the fan
Well, I
vote
think we
stuff.
gave some great plays. What did we give?
Well, I gave Tulowitzki, who had a good weekend, so I was right.
All right.
So anyway.
I forgot who the hell I gave.
So what do you got for us?
Well, on the pitchers, I'll give you a start and a sit. I want to do something a little bit different today, because now is the time when people start really recalibrating their rosters, making trades. Some people desperately need to and aren't doing it.
Why are you looking at
Others-
me when you say that?
Just saying,
Okay.
and it's really that time. And so I want to do sort of a little 2-week thing where this week I will give you some sell high guys, people that have overperformed. Their stats are way better than their underlying numbers are, and they are going to regress. In a couple of instances, they're going to regress in a huge way. And so I'll give you a few of those guys that you can sell high. Next week we'll come back and I'll give you some buy low guys who are underperforming.
That sounds
what
great.
they should be doing.
So it's
great
just my
future.
roster, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, it could be.
Pretty
could
much?
be.
Okay.
Could be. But no, so what I'll do this week, I'll do a start and sit. I won't do a sleeper because there's no, and then we'll just do
Okay.
the sell high guys.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So what do you got for starters?
I think for starters, the starter from a pitching standpoint that I would start this week would be Taijuan Walker. He's got 2 matchups at home, facing Oakland with Rich Hill and facing Ricky Nolasco in Minnesota. Good 2-start pitcher. He's been lights out. He had 1 bad outing this past week, which leads me to believe he'll bounce back because he's a stud. So I would start Taijuan Walker.
You know he's got him, right? You
I
traded for him.
thought he would, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The batter that I would start is right now, and it sounds like we're drafting a 2011 team,
Mhm.
but maybe the best player in baseball right now is Ian Kinsler, and you got to start him. I mean, over the last week, this guy's hit 464, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's playing against Philadelphia and Oakland at home. He's a must start.
And the guy that has him in our league, if you remember, before the draft, basically we tried to give him away. So anybody wanted him could have had him for nothing.
Who's
Because
that?
he was expensive.
Kinsler.
Hammer time,
No.
right? Hammer time had him.
Hammer time.
Yeah.
He said anybody wanting can have him because he was $70.
Yeah, that's a lot of money though.
I know, but I'd give him 70 right now for that production. Go ahead.
Sitting, I think you got to sit Michael Wacha from the St. Louis Cardinals. He will face the Chicago Cubs, to your point earlier, in his first game. Even though it's Jason Hamel, it's still the Cubs. They're the best offense in the league. And then his second start is against the Washington Nationals and Steven Strasburg. So if you have Michael Wacha, I know you're going to be tempted to put him in because the strikeouts and the historic numbers and everything else. He's going to get his ass handed to him this week, more than likely, in at least one of those starts, if not both. You got to sit Wacha. The other guy to sit, obviously, is going to be Sean Tollison, the former Texas Rangers closer, who they have demoted to a setup guy.
And they've made who the closer? My guy, Sam Dyson. I
Yeah.
now have a closer. I didn't have a closer before the other day. Now I have one.
I like to throw this in the mix since you got a new format. I like for you to bring up a team the following week, the team that will have a great week, and a team that will have a real crappy week too. How's that? Because you know what, that bettors like me, I don't care out there. I do bet my games. I love my baseball, and maybe you could give a little plug on who you think's going to have a good week and who's going to have a horrible week coming up too.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I think horrible weeks I've already touched on. I think the Cardinals are going to have a rough go. I mean,
Cardinals.
You got the Cubs and the Nationals. That it doesn't get any harder than
Right.
that. From both a lineup standpoint and a pitching standpoint, the thing that people are missing right now about both those teams is that if you look at the pitching statistics in Major League Baseball, #1 pitching staff overall, not just starting staff, but the best pitching statistics in the major leagues is Chicago Cubs. Second is the Washington Nationals. In my opinion, they're also the first and second lineups that you do not want to face in terms of their batting lineup. So those are 2 really tough teams to play. So the Cardinals would be a team that I would
Bet against.
The team that I like this week, I said it earlier with Taijuan Walker, I like Seattle's setup this week, playing Oakland and Minnesota. I like where they are. So it's I think if I had to pick a team that I was gonna generally put some money on this week, it'd be Seattle.
Hey, let me get your thought on this. We talked before you got in here, we were talking about what I think is a real issue in baseball, and that's the fact that starting pitching is getting, as we know it, has been getting obliterated. And to your point, you brought up some teams, and those guys' names were on the list, and it's the second and third guy. Like, you think Washington, you think of Scherzer, you think of Strasburg, but the reality of it is Gio Gonzalez has pitched really well for them. Jason Hamel, who you brought up, has pitched great for Chicago. So yes, Arrieta's been great, but so has their third guy, so has their fourth guy. Same thing in Washington. And our guy over here that has Chris Sale in Chicago, Jose Quintana.
Yeah.
It's those guys that have picked it up for them. But man, the Greinke's of the world, the Wainwrights, these other guys that are supposed to be #1s, they're getting knocked around.
Yeah, they are. I don't necessarily know what the reason is, because there's a lot of guys that are not getting knocked around, right? A lot of guys are doing just fine and having great years. I think it might be one of those tumultuous years where it's a changing of the guard year, where you've got a few holdovers, the Kershaws, the Sales, who have been fantastic forever. You got a couple guys that are probably adding some things to themselves, like Jake Arrieta. Then you've got guys that are on the downside, right? Like Felix Hernandez and a lot of these guys who have a lot of miles on their arms, and I think it's coming home to roost a little bit, whether it's David Price or it's Max Scherzer, who's been very good lately, but Price or Felix or a lot of these guys who've been really Wainwright, guys who've been really
Hamel.
good. although Hamill's done really well. Cole Hamel.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed, right? I think it's just one of those years where you're starting to see the great decline of that era of pitchers that are starting to go. But then you're also seeing guys that are coming up, not the guys we expected, right? Like, I think you certainly expected Sonny Gray to come up, but I think if you look at guys like Garrett Cole's having a good year, Taijuan Walker's having a good year, there are a lot of young pitchers that are starting to come up that are doing really well themselves. So I'm not sure it's all the pitchers. I think you're just looking at this group of aging stars who've been stars for now 4, 5, 6 years, which is an eternity in fantasy baseball. And I think it's just their year to start going downhill.
Well, you say it all the time, dominating pitching for more than 5 years is a tall task.
Oh, it's really hard.
Well, and here would be I guarantee you right now, you could win this bet. You walk into any bar and bet a beer here, you'll win this bet. Over and under, Max Scherzer's ERA. Everybody's gonna take under 4.
For sure.
It's over 4.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe you. They would make you
man,
prove that
it's
to
still
them.
early. I don't know why
No,
you're
my point-
jumping
no.
ship. And,
Think about it. The guy had 20 strikeouts in a game.
Right.
Did he have a no-hitter this year, or a one-hitter or something, a couple one-hitters? The guy has had some unbelievable games, but yet his ERA's over 4.
Yeah.
It'll get back to normal. Everything will. I got one more thing. Follow up on another team here.
Yep.
I got to ask you about it. What team do you see, a blue collar, on the plus side, getting Vegas odds and so forth next week, that you see them as a productive couple wins?
No, I have no idea. I don't look at, you just sprung this on me that I
Yeah.
team, so I have no clue.
I can't wait for this for
Yeah,
next
no,
week.
I haven't
Will,
even
will
looked
you
at it.
will you look at that?
Yeah,
for
I
next
will.
week? Great.
I will. I mean, I've got a few other things I need to look at too, but I will definitely try to look at that on top of the fantasy stuff, and get back to you. So on the sell high stuff, right? If we go to players, and I try to pick 3 pitchers and 3 position players that have drastically outperformed what their underlying skills show, not only historically, but this year as well. Like guys who are absolutely getting lucky with the same skill set they've shown their whole life. So not a guy like Arrieta who was awful for a long time, and then now even his underlying skill set shows that he's an elite pitcher, right? Not that guy. The guys who are showing their same skill set, but are getting much better numbers.
In layman's terms, you're saying trade these guys right now.
Right now.
Okay.
When do you get off his ship? I mean,
I think now is about the time, right? Because as the sample sizes get larger and larger and larger, you get into June, you're pretty much through halfway through the season at the end of June, and so at that time, you've got a pretty big sample size, and that's when things really start coming back to earth with guys. Where if you got a guy that's got a particular ground ball rate or a fly ball rate or whatever it might be, swinging strike rate a lot, for the pitchers, or on the flip side for batters, and they're at a certain level, yet their statistics are completely different than that. All that means is that their underlying skills aren't going to change, but their luck has to. It's so rare that a guy gets away with a whole season performing that well above his skill.
well, play the other end now. When do you buy into these pitchers?
I think now that's my point. So this week is when I'll give you the sell high. Next week I'll come back and give you the buy low, the guys who are way underperforming what their skill set is. A guy like, actually, maybe the best example, I'll shadow this a little bit or foreshadow this a little bit. The best example of a guy who has got great underlying stats this year and absolute shit ERA, WHIP, etc., is David Price. He's pitched really well, but his stats don't show it. They're terrible, right? And so I think he's a guy that's.
How do you look at that?
You look at it as swinging strike rate. There's 15 different statistical measures that you can look at, whether it's fly ball rate, how many ground balls do you induce, all those different things that you can look at. And then you look at where those guys normally rate out with an ERA and WHIP, and he's so far above, his ERA and WHIP are so far above what they should be. That means that his luck's going to change. He's going to come back. So the 3 pitchers that I would give you that are well and above, and I'll give them to you in order 3, 2, 1, not 1, 2, 3. So the last guy I give you is the most likely to regress significantly. The number 3 is a guy named Stephen Wright. He's a knuckleballer with the Mets, and he's had great stats so far. It's smoke and mirrors. I mean, his numbers are going to go down. The second is a guy named Tyler Chatwood, another pitcher. Again, his stats, his underlying stats are just not great. His numbers are going to come down significantly. And then the number 1 guy, the number 1 pitcher in the major leagues, whose numbers are going to come back to earth really, really quickly, is Jordan Zimmerman with Detroit. His underlying numbers are not good. His ERA and WHIP are good, and again, going back to smoke and mirrors, it's all smoke and mirrors.
So your message to the people that have these is, trade me right now. Trade them right now.
Right, whatever you can get for them.
Okay.
Now
Those are pitchers. Now you're going to give us some hitters. Okay.
Yep, 3 hitters. So again, I'll go in reverse order. The first one is a name that I'll be honest with you, I was surprised to see on this list, Adrian Gonzalez.
Wow.
He is right now so far above what his underlying skill set shows that he's going to come back to earth for sure. Second is Mark Reynolds, which is a name that he's just got good numbers so far this year, and he's just not a great player from a underlying statistical standpoint. And then the other guy is somebody that there's been a lot of hype over, people going crazy over, is Jackie Bradley Jr. And don't believe the hype. That's all I'm saying.
I had him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I just don't believe he can sustain this over the
But
course
don't
of
you
a
think
year.
he just matured now, and before he was a rookie, having all those crap numbers?
His numbers so far this year are the underlying numbers are statistically identical to what they were last year. And his stats are about plus 50%.
Wow.
He's coming back to earth.
And that's played a role in all the offense that Boston's had, as a guy like that having success without any real changes in the underlying. I mean, obviously that's a big part of it, right?
Absolutely.
Does he bat like second or first? Well, where's he bat? Because a lot has to do with Ortiz batting there as well. I mean, that guy's been hitting the shit out of the ball.
But Brock Holt's done well for them, and Xander Bogaerts is just killing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stephen Wright, you mentioned Stephen Wright. That's the knuckleball, right?
Correct.
He plays for Boston though.
Boston, sorry, not the Mets.
Yeah.
Boston, you're right.
Yeah. So anyway,
So those are the guys. If you got them, trade them.
Knuckleballers,
they're a dying breed, man.
Yeah, but man, it just seems like every now and again one comes along and has some success, and then the next thing you know.
I'm telling you, I look for Dickey on the mound. I bet against Dickey every time now.
Do you really?
I look for Dickey because now teams just
You
know how to
haven't
hit
done
it.
in a long time, have you?
No, I haven't. Slapping on your forehead, maybe.
No, I will tell you, but they did a special on Tim Wakefield not too long ago. That guy made what a career. That was amazing. He had a long career as a knuckleballer. I mean, kind of Negro-ish almost. Better, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, to that point, all right, Dickey won a Cy Young, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, 3
but
years
he's
ago.
been pedestrian since, right?
Yeah, before and since.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a 1 year lightning, and I mean, it's just such a hard pitch to control. Like, look at these catchers can't even catch these guys sometimes. I can't even imagine trying to.
I mean, you get on first, you're stealing off these guys. They can't bring the heat or anything.
Yeah.
It's rough on the catcher, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, well, good stuff.
Yeah.
I like that whole thing, because if you're in the situation I'm in, you got to start thinking about next year already.
Oh,
The
that's not
trades
true.
he comes out with, Coop,
Oh, there we go.
they're outrageously dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy is the epitome of some guy in
This
the
is-
pilgrimage days selling beats to the Indians. I will give you this rifle for all your land, Chief Wahoo. That's how he is. He's horrible.
Hey,
He's horrible.
he's telling me what a great trade he made today, and the guy that he traded, he happened.
Why don't we ask him there? No editorial from you.
I-
Just ask him.
What was the trade?
Yaga.
What was the trade?
He traded Steve Chiswick
Chiswick, whatever.
for James Shields, and I said he traded crap for crap. Is what
No,
I said.
I got a pitcher that's not playing right.
No,
They're
he's
not playing bad at all.
the guy that got Chiswick hosed you.
All right,
personally.
let's
He's a closer.
Yeah, but guy gets saved. But you tried to tell me like 2 weeks ago that Chiswick was one of the best closers in baseball.
I said I got another closer on my team. I got 4 or 5 closers that I was going with.
Okay, you can change the story now, but you tried to sell me on how good Chiswick was when you were trying to make a trade with me.
Will you tell the public
You
what you
traded-
wanted to give?
You traded him junk.
My Polanco that I have. What did you want to give for Polanco?
One of my outfielders and one of my aces.
Well, why don't you give us a rundown of who you wanted to give?
Either Justin Upton or Colby Rasmus or Chu, your choice of any of those, and any one of my number 1 starters.
Your number 1 starters, the ones that are pitching softballs right now.
Okay, again, if you think Felix Hernandez and you think Cole Hamels and you think
I
these
don't
guys
want
are
them.
gonna be-
Polanco
Okay.
is the man.
No, you wanted James Shields.
Yeah, for Cheez-It or whatever.
And here's another thing, and Coop can attest to this. You guys went around the room for a month trying to trade Polanco because you overpaid for him. And now because he's had a good 2 or 3 weeks.
He's lying, folks.
Okay.
He's
I'm
lying.
lying. All right.
We never
Okay.
want to get rid of Polanco.
You
at
offered
what?
him to me 8 times.
Yeah, you just offered it to me last week.
Yeah, you offered him to me 8 times.
What you have is a little different than what he has.
You just said you don't want to get rid of Polanco. I just think that
Thank you.
qualifies as a lot.
Thank you,
All right, okay. You got anything more, Tyson?
Tyson.
No? Is it time for you to mosey on out of here now?
Probably is. Good to see you, fellas.
Thanks, Coop. Appreciate your input. That's
Beat
good.
it. Don't
That's
even
our
look
fantasy
back.
expert,
Walk out of
Coop,
here.
with our
Yeah, fantasy
with our
expert.
rundown.
I'm gonna
I love
expert
it.
him.
You
with
know what
a
I
fork.
love more about him?
Get out of
He
here.
tells the truth.
That damn thing away
He's
from
proven to be honest. He's proven to be honest.
GM. I tell you what,
Hey, by the way-
he's got me wanting to lose weight, and he buys pizzas left and right over there. Get out of here, you prick, you.
Hey,
Hey, come on. Come
Speaking
on,
of
leave the damn thing alone.
hey, speaking of that, how about this?
I'm not, I swear to God, look how much of a prick he is.
Hey, speaking of
And
this,
speaking of what? He's gonna
let's make a trade here today.
What?
One of your guys is on that list. I wouldn't mind having him. I'm gonna let you take advantage of me right now.
What do we got going? What?
You-
What?
According to our fantasy expert, Coop,
Oh.
Zimmerman's on that list, and you got
Yeah,
it.
you'll never touch Zimmerman with your shit team, and he's crazy about Zimmerman as well. I'm glad he's gone.
What's wrong with Zimmerman?
Zimmerman's a hell of a player. I don't care what he says. There's nothing wrong with him.
But you're
One bad outing, next thing you know, we got to jump ship on Zimmerman.
well. Your partner would like to trade Zimmerman.
I'm
You
glad
coming
he's
backwards
out of
from
here,
100?
boy.
Did you take your blood pressure medicine this morning?
No, it's not helping with you two.
It's not my fault. No, I'll tell you what. That's good stuff as always. I gotta start thinking about next year already, because my team is atrocious.
What the hell is wrong with this damn thing?
And I think, without question, the biggest problem for my team in baseball has been what I brought up today. The pitching has been atrocious across
Yeah,
the board. And it just so happens it's everybody that's on my team.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Life goes on. Well, hey, that'll about do it for today. What do you got planned for this weekend?
Well, you know what? We got friends coming to the house, and I got this swimming pool that I thought it was in great shape. I cleaned it up. It looked beautiful. Next thing you know, I take a sample. I take it to the pool people, and they go, "You need to add this. I need to add that." And I threw all this shit in there, and next thing you know, I got powder on the bottom. It looks disastrous. It looks hazardous.
Are you telling me if I come swimming I get typhoid?
You may have skin that's taken off.
Well, we don't want to do that.
No.
Not for anything in the whole wide world.
No, but you're more than welcome anytime.
I don't want my skin burnt off.
Well, you'll be the first one in.
What I would prefer, though, is a trade.
You're not getting any of my players for what you're offering. That's horrible stuff. Horrible. I can't even believe you bring that to the table.
Okay.
And by the way, folks, this was the first time we ever heard of Felix Hernandez
No, it's not.
Yeah,
No, it's
it
not.
is.
No, I told him.
When he was in here, none of this was. The Felix Hernandez was brand new. I mean, it was never brought up before.
I told your partner one of those outfielders and whichever pitcher on my team he wants. I have Hernandez, I have Hamels, I have all these players, I have all these pitchers that, to your credit, have not been ace-like yet,
Oh, no
But
shit.
proven.
They've been horrible.
but are proven. And your 300 hitting guy that's a career 260 hitter, all of a sudden is worth who? Roger Clemens in his prime?
Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
Well, my point is what do you think Polanco's worth?
He's carrying the Pittsburgh Pirates right now.
Start
It's-
Marte's carrying them. Let's be realistic.
Let's look at stats here. My guy's
they're
right
pretty
there
good.
with him, man.
They're pretty good. I'll tell you that. No, I like him. I wouldn't have tried to trade for him if I didn't like him, but I felt like my offer was fair. Well, that's going to do it for us this week on the Bleacher Bums. Enjoy sitting out here talking ball with my buddy, and of course with Coop
These
coming
damn
in.
cameras. I'm telling you, I gotta lose some weight.
But you know what? I think this is going to push us. What do you think? Let's get it going Monday.
I gotta get this.
What do you think?
Wow, I'm like being viewed by hundreds and thousands of people right now.
There's thousands. I'll give you that. I don't know about hundreds of thousands, but there's thousands of people checking us out right now. Going, I had no idea. He doesn't sound that heavy. So
Would you knock it off? I mean,
not
honestly.
you. I'm talking about me.
Get out of here. Hey,
Get out of there.
Slim Jim over there, look at him crossing his arms every minute, covering up his C-cuppers.
Hey, just because your new nickname's D-Cup, thanks to our friend.
Oh,
Pooh,
that
it's not my fault.
bastard. I mean, I can't believe he said that and
No, that's your
reeled
boy.
out of here real
Hey,
quick.
that's your boy.
Yeah.
All right, hey, that's gonna do it for us.
The hell with him, the hell with you.
I'm one half of your show, Jimbo, and this is the other half.
More
we're
like
gonna
a
see you
whole
Monday.
half.
We're gonna see you Monday for the weekend wrap-up edition. Take care, guys.
Yeah, see ya. Eat a pizza on me.
We're clear.
Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q, baby, I love you. Susie Q. Yeah, have a good shave. I will? Yeah.
Yeah, you just offered it to me last week.
What?